Is exposing a man the right thing to do, or is it just giving him more power than he deserves? But before we get into talking about this topic, I want to make it very clear that I see no wrong in a woman making it clear to her community that the man she thought she could trust is no longer to be trusted. The man that swore to be faithful is no longer faithful, and this man is not to be messed with. There's nothing wrong with this. Where things actually start being more beneficial to the man when it comes to being exposed, rather than being something that is going to bring justice to the woman, is when the community of women or people around that woman take this instance, take this unfaithfulness, and they draw it up, they whip it up, and they make it into an exposure, thinking that giving a man what he deserves, talking down about this man, saying, you did this, you did that, you don't deserve this woman, look at this woman, she's beautiful, she's amazing, she don't deserve you, you're gonna turn into a donkey by Friday, you are messing with the wrong crowd. The reason why this is where it gets dangerous and where it actually turns into him getting more power than he deserves is because men don't care whether what you say about them is negative or positive. They just care that you're talking about them. Men operate completely different than women do. This is exactly why when a man does something he shouldn't be doing, the first thing women tend to do is that they focus on guilt tripping that man. You don't deserve this woman. Look at what you did. Who do you think you are? And while there's nothing wrong with having these valid points and being frustrated, being infuriated, and making this clear both with yourself and your own emotions about how terrible men are, but also, talking about this with other people. The issue is that men don't feel guilt the same way women do. Men, when you tell them what they did wrong and, oh, you did this wrong and you did that wrong, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? The only thing they can hear is, you're talking to me, you're giving me your energy, me. I am important. I am the most important person in this room right now because I don't care if what you're saying about me is that I'm a terrible person. You're talking about me. That is how men think. Men don't think like women do. Men don't think, I'm guilty of something. Women are completely ruled by guilt. This is something that's been set up by the patriarchy. Women are ruled by guilt. This is why women, when it comes to the whole being unfaithful, women aren't as unfaithful the same way men are, because women are so ruled by guilt, because men want to control women. This is why we're like, I did something wrong. So if a woman gets bad comments, she's much more likely to try to address it, own up, change, actually make a change. While when a man gets exposed for something he did that was wrong, he might come up with a little bit of an apology video, but for a fact that these apology videos are never actually really good, or they never actually change anything, because these men know what they're doing. They know that when they give you an apology video, everyone in the comment section are going to be like, oh, this is not a good apology video. Oh, you thought this was an apology? You thought this was a power move? And then he's like, look, I made you dance again. Look, I made you talk about me again. That's how men clock that women are willing to give them all of their energy, no matter if they act right or not. We all know a specific mother on YouTube who has it pat down when it comes to these men's way of acting. And we know for a fact that if something went south with her relationship, or if this man went out and did something that he shouldn't be doing, she would not be bringing it up. She would be moving on, and she would be doing exactly what she was doing. She would keep it a buck, and she wouldn't be putting her energy into exposing her man. Because it would only bring him more fire to fuel his own ego. This is what we have to understand about men. As I said before, men don't care if the energy is positive or negative. They care that it exists. It's kind of like if you watched an old Western movie where there's a bandit on the run and he has like a big wanted poster. This guy loved being on the wanted poster because you know what happens when a man is suddenly wanted? Even if he's wanted for bad things, a lot of people are going to find him intriguing, and a lot of people are going to be looking into him, and they're going to want to be associated with him because he was associated with someone else. And this is the exact power we give men when we put too much wood on the fire. When we're saying, oh, we're going to expose him, and put all of the evidence all over social media, make countless of videos, reels, exposing, talking about specific guy, and you know exactly who I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna mention names. And I made a video a couple days ago talking about something similar like this, but you know there's a reason why I don't use specific names in my videos, because when you name people, it is making them more famous, and they don't deserve that. It is also courteous to not be out here slinging people's names left and right, because this could happen to anyone. But this is not an instance that is only going to apply to one guy in one situation with one girl. This is something that can happen with many men. There's so many men that are willing to do this. This is why this applies to general relationship theory in general. Men love it when their woman comes crawling back to them and is arguing and yapping about everything that they did wrong. Because they see that this woman is trying to make him change. And because of this, he's like, I don't need to change because I can be bad. I can be the villain and I'll still get energy. And you know what this man is going to think? I am powerful. I am powerful, because the man doesn't care if he's the villain or not. Because you know what happens to villains? Villains still get interest from people. Villains still get people that follow them. Villains still get people that say, you're right. Whatever she said was wrong. You're right. So when we fuel a man's ego by bringing him energy, because that's what we're doing, no matter if it's positive or if it's negative, we're bringing him energy by exposing him. By exposing him. There's a big difference by exposing a man saying, this man's not who I thought he was. Done deal. Which I know for a fact that that's what the woman that we're not going to mention, but we know exactly who it is, did. She called it out. She did what she needed to do. But when a whole social media blows up, this is where this guy's like, got you. Because this guy clocks that he, in some community, in some environment, you know what's going to happen? Some woman and other men, they're going to think he's a hero. There are going to be some women out there, I'm sorry to say it like this, that are going to be like, oh, I don't believe what you did was that wrong. I don't believe what you did was that bad. And men are going to be like, oh, you're cool for doing that. There are going to be men that are willing to do that. And when the man is exposed and everyone is talking about him, then he is going to try to just magnetize that by making a bad apology video so that everyone talks about the bad apology video, by putting little stories or whatever out there so that people talk more about that. It is kind of a conundrum that I'm sitting and making this video, because this is exactly what I'm talking about that will actually blow things up more. But we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this so that we can stop fueling these men with energy that they don't deserve. Because you know where true power lies. As I said before, you know exactly who wouldn't be exposing their man if he did something wrong. She wouldn't. She would just move on. Because she understands that the power lies within starving attention. It doesn't lie within making him guilted, because guilt doesn't exist for a man the same way that it does for women. When you quote unquote expose a man, what women think they're doing is that they're bringing justice. What men think is that, oh, you're just fueling this man. And I love this. You're fueling me. You're giving me attention. I'm going to be more unruly. Because before I was getting attention from just being with this woman, being her man. Now I'm getting 4 times 10 times the amount of attention from being the bad guy. This is actually something that men strategically do, is that first they play the nice guy for a while, for a long while, maybe even for years and decades, and then they drop the ball and they crash everything so that people are going to be like, wow, oh my God, I didn't expect this from him. Oh my God. And they're going to blow it up and they're going to make it 10 times bigger than him being the good man he was. They're going to make it 10 times bigger than now he's the bad man. And like, he's going to be like, I know how to run this city. I know how to run this game. Because this is exactly what men think. Men don't care. Men don't care if the energy is good or bad. They care that it's there. That's why we have to starve these men from the attention that they get when they're doing something wrong. This is why the right move is to get up and say, you did something wrong? Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. The right move is to keep on doing what you need to do. And this is exactly why it's also very, very dangerous to make a man take front and center stage in your life if you are someone who is a public person. If you are someone who does content, it can be extremely dangerous to put a man front and center, because we're not saying that this man can't necessarily be a very secure man that is not going to mess anything up. There are secure men out there, and hurrah for them because we love them. But there will be insecure men out there that will take the stage. They will take the stage that you have created and they will wreck that stage, because they see that they can't get the same attention that you're getting from just being yourself, your positive self. So they need to wreck it in order for them to bring attention from the people that are giving you attention. They want the attention from the people around you. Instead of just trying to get out there and build their own stage, they want the attention from the people that you have grabbed attention from. And that's exactly why they love being exposed. Ooh, are you gonna expose me? Are you gonna expose me? I don't want to be exposed. Oh, I've never done anything wrong. They love being exposed because that means that they're gonna get more people's eyes on them. This is exactly, you know, how in TV series like Game of Thrones, or when it's like a kingdom and there's a king and he does something wrong, you know what? This king becomes famous for doing something wrong. He becomes feared. He becomes admired. He becomes talked about. That's exactly what these men are searching for by being the bad guy, because they don't care. They don't care if it's bad or good attention. They just love the attention. Their attention. And that's exactly why the best thing we can do for these men that haven't healed their own feminine side is to let them rot in silence. And you might say, well, if we all let them rot in silence, then we're not going to be able to expose them. We all need to know and learn. Yeah, this is the learning moment. This is the learning moment. If we keep exposing these feminine men, they're just going to be like, thank you. It's like a reality TV show. This man loves being the center of attention. He loves that you're putting all of your energy towards him. All of the energy that you should be focusing on helping the woman who's in a dire situation, you're putting it on to putting down the man, which is not putting him down. It's just making him more famous. Because you know what they say? All press is good press. That's how a man thinks too. A man is going to be able to go out there and get women like crazy after he's done something bad. You might think, well, women are not going to like him anymore. Women are not going to like him. No. People are going to see whatever he's up to and they're still going to follow him. They're still going to put energy into him. They're going to monitor him, and they're going to put their energy. When he gets out there and he's walking around, he's going to be able to use that sob story that everyone's against him to his benefit, because there is going to be some woman out there who hasn't clocked that he's in it just to manipulate people. There's going to be some woman out there who's going to be like, oh my God, I hear you. I hear you. I see what you did. And I don't think it's that bad, because she's desperate for a companionship. She's so desperate for a companionship, she's willing to look that over, because now gonna be able to borrow the energy from that man that he took from the woman that he was unfaithful towards. It's a triple down effect. And we can't end it unless we cut off the source. Unless we say, okay, well, I'm not gonna let it slide. Because this man, you know exactly who I'm talking about, when he goes out and makes apology videos, he posts him exposing himself, trying to make things better. It's just because he knows people are going to be talking about him. He's harvesting the fame like he loves it. These men love it. They're not ruled by guilt the same way that women are. They're not. They don't think, oh, I did something bad, I'm going to be punished. They actually think, I did something bad, I'm going to be punished. You're going to punish me? Punish me, please. Because they know the punishment that they're getting is not really punishment. It's just making them more famous. It's like, oh my God, come punish me. I did something bad. Look, I did something bad. Look, here's the evidence for all of the bad stuff that I did. Look, I did, punish me. And then the women are catching on to that, like, yeah, I'm gonna punish you. But what we fail to understand here is that that's exactly what he wants. And instead of us saving our energy to build our community of the women, building ourselves up, making sure that the women that have been played, the women that have experienced all of these bad things, that they're met with compassion, that they're met with love, which I do see happening as well. But instead of that, we're focusing all of our energy on him. We're focusing all of the energy on the man, instead of focusing all of the energy on her, saying, you did so good. I'm proud of you. I know that you can tackle anything. We're focusing all the energy on punishing him. And he's like, come punish me. Oh, come punish me. I want you to punish me. I did something bad. That's exactly what this man is like. He's like, oh my God, yes, I did do her wrong. Let me post an apology video. You don't think it's good? You're gonna punish me for not making a good enough apology video? I'm gonna do a second one. I'm gonna do more. That's how these men stir up drama. You hear how selfish and how silly it sounds when a man is like, I did something wrong. He doesn't care if it's wrong. He loves being bad, because bad to him is whatever. He's still gonna get famous. He's still gonna get attention. He's still gonna be seen as the man because he could play the girl. And the power move here is starving the attention. So, oh, you thought you did something? I know you did something, but I'm not gonna talk to you about it. When us women, we argue with our man, when we go into you did this and this wrong, I want you to do more of this, and you did this wrong, and I don't like that you do this, and that. This guy's like, I got her. I got them. And I know for a fact that the woman that he did that to, she doesn't care, because she's strong. She worked on herself. But all the other women talking, they haven't worked on themselves. This is hard to hear, I know. They haven't worked on themselves enough to know that you're fueling a fire that's just going to grow bigger and bigger till it consumes you. We're not here to blame women for getting angry. We're not here to blame women for doing what is right, trying to bring justice, but men don't think about justice the same way. There are men out here that are doing heinous things, and they're happy to be exposed about it because they love the attention. They love the attention they're getting from it. They don't think like women do. They're not ruled by guilt. So we have to clock that, or else these men will never get the accountability that they deserve. They will never change if we just give them energy for doing something bad. A man being exposed is not going to make a man own up to his actions. It's just going to make him more power hungry, because a man is going to be able to see that, oh, if I say to people, oh, you're going to expose me for my bad behavior, then they're going to do it. And that means that he has control. That means that he knows how to manipulate. And not only does he have the power to manipulate one person, now he has the power to manipulate multiple people at a time. Men love it when people expose them, because that means that they're given the energy that us women could be focusing on ourselves. This is why I think it is sometimes a little bit icky when we focus so much on everything that the man does wrong, because the man knows exactly what he did wrong. Men are not stupid. We make them seem stupid because that way the men get much more from us. They love that. It's called weaponized incompetence. Men are exactly like dogs. That's why I always say, treat men like dogs. Men, when you pet a man on the head after he's done something wrong, and I'm not saying you're petting him on the head, but what you're doing is you're talking to him about everything he's doing wrong, exposing a man, exposing all of his business, all of this. It's essentially like a dog who's biting someone, and then you're sitting down with the dog and you're like, oh, Rocky, you did bad dog. The dog is, you might say bad dog to the dog, but the dog's not going to clock that what he did is wrong, because the only thing that the dog sees is that he's getting attention. That's exactly how men work. This is exactly why that they run out and bite more people, metaphorically, of course, because they love getting the attention from being the bad kid. That's exactly why when you're a kid and you do something wrong, what parents do instead, they say, go to your room, think about what you did. Because going to your room, being isolated, having the energy taken off of you is exactly what make you actually think about what you did wrong. It's not, you did this and this wrong and we got to sit down and have a talk about what you did wrong. It's not, I don't like the fact that you did this. I don't like the fact that you did that. Oh, you cheated on her. You did this towards her. You did this and this and that. No, the man's just going to be like, oh, you're just going to give me more energy, because you know what this man understands? Now he has the power to control the narrative. And he doesn't care if the narrative is bad. He doesn't care if you're saying something about him that is negative, because men will do heinous things and they will still be happy to be exposed for them, because they love the energy of being exposed. They love it. They will do bad things over and over again because they know that they're going to become famous for that. They don't care if it's bad or good. They know that there are going to be some woman, there are going to be men out there that are going to applaud for them, that are going to say what you did was right. But when we bring attention towards this man, his ego is just going to get boosted way more. He's not going to think about what he did wrong. He's just going to feel like he did everything right because he's now getting more attention. He's actually the one walking away with a lot of power. And we're the one, essentially what this man is doing is he's saying, oh, I did something wrong. You should punish me. You should punish me. And what we're thinking as women is, oh yeah, I'm going to punish you. I'm going to punish you right now. And this man is like, yeah, I know you are. And he's going to be like, oh, look, I posted an apology video. You thought it was bad? Maybe you should punish me more. Ooh, I posted all the evidence. Punish me. And the women are like, yeah, I'm going to punish you. That's what he wants. That's what he wants. Why do you think he keeps on going? If he really cared, he would literally go quiet and he would do everything in his power to help that woman out, do something to make things better with that woman. He wouldn't be posting apology videos. He wouldn't be posting evidence. He wouldn't be posting this and this and that. He would go directly to the person he did wrong and he would try to make up for it, even if he can't. But when he starts posting on social media about it, or when he's like, oh my God, I know I did wrong, he doesn't care. He's just spinning the needle, trying to get you to do more for him, trying to get you to focus your energy on him instead of focusing your energy on your own cause, your own matters. We as women, we think that by exposing a man, we show that we've grown and that we clock that a man does this and no man is ever going to do that. And there's nothing wrong with collectively learning from situations like this. There's nothing wrong with that. But we think that we become more immune just because we expose one man. No, we're just giving this man more power. What we actually should be doing as a community is starving this man of attention, not giving this man attention, not focusing on everything that he did, but focusing on everything that she did right, giving her grace, boosting her, not focusing on him, not posting everything about him. Because he's just going to feel like, oh, it's about me. These men love being the star of the reality show that they create for themselves. They don't care what they did wrong. They want you to focus all of your energy on them so that you don't have any energy left for yourself to grow. Because that way you're going to be easier to play in the long haul. This is why these men love getting off to all of these bad stuff. Because then when us women, we focus all about that, then we don't have time to focus on ourselves. They love it that women gossip. They love that women gossip about men and all the things that they did wrong. Because that means that we don't have time to focus on ourselves, our own growth, our own business. We don't have time for that because we're all about their business. They love that. That's how they become more powerful, because everyone's talking about them. They know how to hold that energy. And they love taking that energy from a powerful woman, recycling it into themselves and blowing it out of proportion so that other people will give them applause. To them, being booed is just energy. And energy is energy. That's why we say that all press is good press. Fame is fame is fame. Men don't care about guilt the same way that women do. They're not guilt tripped the same way that we are. They think, oh, they're giving me energy. That must mean that I did something right because I know how to conjure energy. They know that they're going to get a woman regardless. They know that they're going to get friends regardless. They know that they're going to go to specific communities and they're still going to be... Think about it like this. There are men that have done heinous crimes that end up in prison and that still get married, that still find the love of their life. There are men in prison who are charged by the state, by the country, literally, legally, that still end up finding love after having done heinous things. Because fame is fame is fame. Because these men don't care what they did. They don't care. And the only way they are gonna care, which is not even our business, is if we retract our energy. And it's not our business to make them care. What we need to care about is us. It is never to do with us. It is not our fault. We think by exposing a man, we think by airing out his dirty laundry that men are going to change. They're not. They're not going to change. The only people that need to change is us. We need to stop focusing on them. That doesn't mean we can't clock what they did wrong, but it's not because of us. We didn't do our character, us being amazing. You can be the most beautiful, amazing woman and you can still have someone go against you. You can still have someone try to bring you down because it's never to do with us. It has to do with them. It has to do with their insecurities. It has to do with their power hungriness. It has to do with their ego. Which is exactly why it does not make sense for us to bring all of the energy towards them. Try to make them repent. Try to make them see what they did wrong. Try to expose them. They don't care. Because they know that it's all about them. It's not about you. But they also know that if they can make it all about them from your perspective, if they can make you focus all of your energy on them, then they won. Men are going to do things wrong regardless. So we need to focus on ourselves instead of trying to change them. Because they're not going to change. They're not going to change. The only thing we can do is just guard ourselves and be protective of ourselves and move accordingly. But if we're going to try to change them, they won't change. They just love the attention. And they're going to stop changing when we give them the attention. Guard yourself. Focus on yourself, girl.